Welcome to another episode of the brand called You, a video and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Today, it is my privilege to welcome a very senior corporate professional from Pune, Mr. Rajendra R. Deshpande. Rajendra, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Deshpande is the managing director and CEO of Kirloskar Oil Engines. He spent 42 years with the Kirloskar Group. Very interestingly, he's a sportsman and he has represented Maharashtra for handball, softball, and rowing. And we will talk to him about the importance of sports in the corporate world. He's a member of the managing committee of the Maharashtra Cricket Association. And if I'm correct, I think he's managed a couple of test matches in Pune. And he's on the governing council of the Kolhapur Institute of Technologies, the VIIT Engineering Colleges, and several others. So Rajendra, tell me, what would you say are three key milestones in your career or your life?
See, if you see as a total lifespan, whatever I am having, the first was to become an engineer, and that was from COEP, which is having if you see, even means one of the premium institute today. And I'm proud of my college. So became engineer, passed out with a mechanical engineering in 77. So that was the first, I can say, milestone, because that decides your complete course further in your career. Second was while I was actually in the college, I won the Macklin Skull Trophy, which is an international regatta. And I won the Macklin Skull Trophy when I actually defeated a Hong Kong guy. And this person actually was a very veteran sculler. And in 76, this tournament was onto our Pune Mutha River, Bun Garden. And in the history of College of Engineering Pune, I was the first who won this trophy.
Wow.
So, yeah, that time I can means after that we founded the rowing association, and in the national started. I was the captain of Maharashtra for nationals. You were in the national scene, first 1, 2, 3 scholars, and that was again a top, I can say, moment for me from the sports field. So first was on the passing out the college, second was under the winning Macklin Skull Trophy, and third one was from I can say, my professional career. We used to participate into the CII Exim Bank Business Excellence Award.
Okay.
And under my leadership in 2019, see, recently I got retired in April 2020, and 2019 CII Exim, we won the trophy.
Wow.
And in the history of Kirloskar Group, we were the first company who won CII Business Excellence. Okay. And in last 25 years, hardly 15 companies won this trophy. So I am fortunate enough that under my leadership, this trophy, CII Business Excellence, actually won by Kirloskar Oil Engines, and with my team also. So individual event, team event, all these things, I could see three key milestones in my life and career.
Fantastic. So Rajendra, let's now talk about Kirloskar, the Kirloskar Group, Kirloskar Oil Engines, where you spent a lifetime, and you've probably joined as a trainee engineer and retired as the managing director. First, tell me, what are the core activities of Kirloskar Oil Engines as a company?
See, Kirloskar Oil Engines founded in 1946, and that time we started making diesel engines. But the Britishers, they never liked because this diesel person came actually from Germany, and from that actually the diesel Britishers called them oil. So Kirloskar Diesel Engine Factory was named as Kirloskar Oil Engines, and that was the only thing. Otherwise, we make diesel engines, and we were Kirloskars are pioneers for agriculture machinery. The first product in 1888 was iron plow, and with the iron plow, they started increasing the productivity of the farmer. So all the products which are actually related to agri industries and enhancements of productivity, you can see from the diesel engine, diesel pump set, all these are coming actually from House of Kirloskar. So Kirloskar Oil Engine makes diesel engines for farmers, diesel engines for generating set, diesel engines for our own Navy ships. We used to make when we had a tie-up with ACMT Stick France. We used to make engines for ships, main propulsion. So almost I can say 150 ships are with our diesel engines as such, main propulsion engine. So for different, I can say equipment, even if you see any road construction equipment today, like JCB or L&T, or all these are propelled with the Kirloskar engine. So all road construction equipment machinery, if you see, or the transit mixer or compactors, all these things are with the Kirloskar engine, diesel engines.
Amazing.
So we make almost 200,000 engines, and we are the leaders in India for diesel engines as such.
Amazing.
So Kirloskar Oil Engine, to be specific, are the, I can say, leaders in the diesel engine industry as such. And we are having our own products as well as we are actually supplying to our OEMs in a big way.
Very good. So, for an institution that is so old and that is so well established, talk to me about the values that Kirloskar Group and the Kirloskar Oil Engine stands for.
See, first, if you can see as such, the group value or something, quality first is the first value. Okay. Whatever the products you will make, the quality has to be there. It has to be built-in quality. Okay. So the total organizations and the group is driven by quality culture. So if you see the passion behind this is always there for the last so many years, and that's why today a lot of exports we are having. We do a lot of job for defense, serve the country as such. So all these things actually start with the, I can say, quality first. Then comes under the, I can say, walk the talk. The leaders who are actually there walk the talk. Whatever today, all the leaders are there. They are role models for the industry as such. And we always have got this as a basic value. And there are value ombudsmen also. So if there are deviations or something, whistleblower policy is there. So we, I can say, follow the walk the talk of this one. And I can see that as we progressed, basic value, another value I can say, integrity. The integrity actually is a built-in, I can say, the quality which is across the organizations. But what happens is, as we go along, we could see that whatever are the policies, even I can say, while you talk to the customers, listen to the customers, talk to them, whatever you are having, you have to call spade as spade. You cannot have two this one policy. So only single policy. And from that perspective, we give a lot of, I can say, value on the integrity as such. So basically these, I can say, three values. Another value I can say is whatever you will do, have a simplicity. Means whatever the solution you will find, it has to go to the, I can say, to the ground. And then whatever the solution, then it is the simplest solution, I can say. So the best answer, the best solution will be the simplest solution. So this is what we also cherish and look forward as a value, simplicity.
Wonderful. So, my next question is that you have led so many businesses. You must have, met and known so many CEOs. My question to you is that what, in your view, are some of the important qualities a CEO should have?
Okay. See, if you ask me from when I actually grew up from the trainee engineer to MD, the different qualities at different levels actually are there. If you ask me, when I used to be a trainee engineer, very aggressive, very, I can say, looking at result oriented and all. But as you go up the ladder, different actually facets are there from the leadership, I can say, perspective. So today, when I look back, role model, to be a role model, because people are looking at you as a leader.
Correct.
And when you are, so you have to be a good role model. And for that, again, that walk the talk comes into picture. Then another is risk-taking ability. See, whenever you are doing business, it is not always that you are successful. Sometimes, maybe 2 out of 10 times, maybe your decision is whatever you have taken a decision in the circumstances, maybe it is not suitable at that point of time. And but still, I can say, if you don't take risk, you cannot be in the race. You cannot actually in the business. And from that perspective, you have to have risk-taking ability as a, I can say, one of the point in your mind that, okay, to be or not to be, but ultimately taking a calculated risk and go into this. Because fear of failure should not be there.
Correct.
Sometimes you have got a failure, no doubt. But unless you fail, you will not come to know what is the success. And from that perspective, this is there. And then there's a good listening quality. See, as a leader, you have to have good listening quality. And when you have got a good listening quality, and I always have to have my strategy like that, that you listen to your customer, you listen to your supplier, and then you will have your own view about the situation. If you start working on directly with your views, then maybe the other side you will not look into. And from that, I always look into that I will be a good listener. I will be first listen, maybe a very annoyed customer. When the product fails or something, he will start firing you. But as you go along, please listen to him. He has got his own views, or a customer or a supplier. Maybe sometimes he is not delivering, but still he is a critical supplier. So all these things today are very, very important from while you do business. So listening, to be a good listener is a good quality. That helps you in the business all the time, because you decide your own strategy why after you listen. And I know a lot of negotiation where commercial negotiation that our company got benefited because the other side is actually first is heard, and then you have got your own views. He also feels that he is actually, because when you arrive at a win-win situation, because to arrive at a win-win situation always is very difficult, because you have got your own agenda, he has got his agenda, and still when you have to have a win-win situation, which is a very sustainable, because that is also very important. Otherwise, short-term strategies with lose-win or win-lose situation doesn't last long. And that's why a good listening quality is always there, which is you should have a patience also while doing that, because sometimes you know that you are correct, but still how to put it further onto the table, that is also a very, very important thing. So to be a good listener, to risk-taking ability, walk the talk, role model, all these things are very important, and these are the qualities for the higher, I can say, leadership.
Wonderful. So now let me move to the next part of our conversation. And, I want to talk about sports. You've been a, state level sports person. You are managing, a lot of sports. My first question to you is that how important is it to have a passion for managers in the corporate world?
See, talking about sports, I always say this, that a good sportsman can be a good manager. That always is there. But good manager may not be a good sportsman. But the first sentence is always true, because if I have seen closely that if you are good at sports, the team, taking along the team with you, talking to them in a, I can say, very respectable position, all these qualities which are required for the leadership, you get all the inputs in your sports. It can be individual game, it can be team event. I remember when I was playing cricket for my company, I remember my captain used to be my, I can say, worker. And we used to be on the same platform when we are on the field. So how to work with them also, how to behave with them, how to, I can say, respect them is also. So respect for people comes with the sports. And when you have got respect for people, half the job is done. What is business ultimately? somebody in your across the table who is there, you have to respect him. So in sports, you have to respect the other gentleman. In a team, everybody cannot hit century, but he can be a good team member. He can be a good fielder. He can be a good bowler. So all these things, all these qualities actually come from sports, any sports. And therefore, I make it a point that whatever the sports you see, even onto the TV or actually in the field, the top class sports, if you see, you could see all these qualities on the field. Because you could see that how people support the weak link that time. Because ultimately the hand is made up of 5 fingers, which are not actually equal, but they have got their own functions. And when you put together, you have got your strength. So all these things. So a good sportsman can be a good manager, and I think I have always seen this. But from a good only manager, he may not be good at sports, and that's why health is wealth, wealth is not health. Right. So look into the sports from a point of view. It is your time. It is for you. It is for releasing the stresses. It is for releasing your all whatever energy level. Because ultimately, I have seen the sportsman has got a different energy level, and this energy level actually comes from the sports. And this energy level you get benefited into your business. Because in business, you have to have a tough mind. You have to have patience. Correct. And this patience actually help you in further going into the business. So sports is, I can say, a very, very important thing. It can be sports, it can be exercise, it can be whatever you do for your own. And that is very important.
Wonderful. So, Rajendra, you also, you continue to be on the Maharashtra Cricket Council, in the managing committee of the Maharashtra Cricket Association. You associate with the BCCI, and you were telling me that, you managed a couple of cricket matches, test matches, from, the beginning to the end. Tell me what goes into managing such high profile events, and what lessons did you draw from it as a manager?
Okay. See, normally people feel that in sports and all, it is maybe is given, this is there. But actually, if I see, when I actually handled as an observer in one of the, I can say, one-day match in Ranchi, there is a complete docket. There is a process by itself. Okay. That any match, when it is actually played, there is a background homework, which is a very, very big homework. And you have got a complete, I can say, process-oriented structure. And that is there. See, any event, if you see, right from when I remember, if you come actually from, suppose the team comes to airport. So airport to airport, these 3 days or 4 days, whatever we used to be with the team, is complete. The goal is you have to be time bound. You cannot be late as such, because everything depends on you. You are the local person over there. The team is the guest for you. And from that perspective, and everybody actually, they are the important people. They are all celebrity. So time management is very important. Second is, you have to see upfront what are the obstacles you are going to get. You have to list down all those. Because if today the traffic jam is there, you have to tell that the route you have to follow is different. Because the buses are being chased by these fans, and therefore you have to actually go away from these fans. Correct. So time management, then this type of actually I can say the situations which you have to tackle at that point of time is very important. Okay. Then in the hotels also, I remember while allotting the rooms and all, you have to talk to the actual the team manager who travels with them, and he gives you inputs that give this room to him. This means this complete management is there for the team. Yeah. And while doing that, then arrange for the food. Every player has got a different habits for the food, which actually we ask them before the team arrives. So there is a big homework in that. This point is there, that which player has got what type of food. And the timing of the food is also equally important, because you have to go to the practice session. So what type of food is there for the practice session, after practice session, everything. So all time management, complete event oriented, I can say completely packed day are there. So all the 3 days you have to see that these people get whatever they want, and for that there is a complete questionnaire which is finalized by BCCI, and you actually follow that questionnaire. It is a completely docket by itself. I can say 200 pages docket. And when you put all these your observations, that is very, very important, and it goes to BCCI back, and they further improve onto this. That with your feedback, they improve onto this. And I could see the even in the on the ground, what type of arrangements are there for media, for the people, for the sportsmen, for the office bearers. Everything you have to manage, everything. And if there is something actually on the ground happening at the time of match, unfortunately, whatever happens, then you have to handle it. Suppose the rain comes into picture, so you have to be ready with the rains. So that's a ready. The readiness, the preparedness is very important into the match. All these things actually are written down, and you have to follow. Then even the passes. See, a lot of players, they get free passes. Means there is a complete, I can say, procedure given to whom you have to give how many passes, and accordingly you have to give those passes. While you are tackling with the police, we are tackling with the politicians, we are tackling with the local leaders, and still you have to. So I can say it's a complete event. See, like in marriage, you have to be prepared for since maybe 2 months, 3 months, or 1 year. You get prepared for an event. Same type of preparedness is there, and it is documented every time you improve onto this. So I have learned a lot into this sports field, that and that's why I used to be with them. I used to live with these players in the hotel, the same hotel. So I had to be with them at the breakfast, at the lunch, at the practice station. So these are all is very, very important, and I have learned a lot from this.
Wonderful. So my last question to you, and my question to you here, Rajendra, is drawing upon all the 42 years of experience. Thousands of people will listen to you and me talking, and on our audio podcast. What would you, as such a senior professional, advise a young engineer starting out on their corporate journey?
Yeah, this is always a favorite question, because when I used to give address to the newcomers or into the campus interviews and all, I used to go. See, I always tell these people that you have to have a patience. You cannot have that today you join any company and you become a manager or a top senior next year. No, it cannot. You have to get to know the company, get to know the product, get to know the customer. So first is patience. So patience is very, very important. Second is satisfaction in the job. You should know what is satisfaction, because while you are doing your job, there has to be satisfaction. And I always, one test is there. If you are doing good, means you are doing, actually, that means you are doing good, actually. What happens is, if I am performing well, people give you feedback, because that feedback is always there. Arey, you have done this good, huh? And that's why I can say that satisfaction in the job has to be there. If you are satisfied in your job, salary is not the factor which is driving you into your career. First is satisfaction in the job. Third is on the learning and growth. Yeah, there has to be a growth. There has to be a learning. So if your organization is really looking at your learning and growth, no issue. So that is also important. And as you go along, a lot of opportunities come into your way. So, and the opportunity will never tell you that I am an opportunity, please grab me. So you have to take a decision. So decision making is very important. While doing that, positive attitude is very important. Look into it from a positive point of view. All the opportunities where actually you will convert from your weaknesses or your threats or whatever difficult challenges are there, you convert it into opportunities. And when you convert into opportunity, then you will have, I got an opportunity, I grab it. So my point is, for these youngsters, these 3-4 things are very important, and you will definitely do a wonderful job if you follow all this. And I tell you, when you look back, you have to have your work-life balance also. You cannot have only workaholic situation. So you have to have a work-life balance.
Correct.
You give 1 hour, 2 hours to you in the morning hours, so it will balance your life.
Wonderful.
You have to have your responsibilities towards family. Look into that, because that is going to give you more boost, zeal, energy to drive the organization what you are working in.
Wonderful. Rajendra, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure speaking to you. I wish you in your life post Kirloskar, I don't think you will ever be a non-Kirloskar person, even though you said you retired. But I wish you lots of good health, lots of success, and whatever you're doing, I'm sure you'll excel. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.